Am I the only person that's confused by the company Kylie Cosmetics? Let me explain. Kylie Cosmetics is a company that was founded in November 2015. In 2015, Kylie Cosmetics partnered with another company called Seed Beauty Company, a company that was launched in 2014. It's a relatively small company. It's still a small company. After a $250,000 investment, Kylie Cosmetics released 15,000 lip kits with Seed Beauty Company at $29 a kit. That brought in $435,000, a profit of $185,000. So the profit was about 74%. The 15,000 lip kits sold out, and it took about 6 months for Seed Beauty Company, the small company, to increase production 34 times to 500,000 kits. So, if Kylie Cosmetics launched in November 2015 and it took 6 months to increase production to 500,000 kits, that brings us to May 2016. The production of 500,000 kits at $29 a kit comes to 14.5 million minimum. And at 120 a kit, it comes to 60 million maximum. How did Seed Beauty Company increase production a further 20 times to 300 million in profit, or 600 times in the span of 1 year? So the question comes, how did revenue increase from 14 million, presumably in June, to 300 million in December, given that it required 6 months to increase production to 500,000 kits? Seed Beauty did not have the capacity and does not have the capacity to do this. Further, a magazine called WWD went on to report that the company continued to grow to 420 million after 18 months. How is that possible, given that there needs to be negotiations for licensing, manufacturing, production, and marketing? To summarize point 1, from an initial investment of $250,000, they received a return on investment of 300 million within a year of launching the cosmetics company. So for every dollar they spent, they made back $1,200. A comparative example of how unrealistic that is in terms of a global cosmetics company that launched around the same time and with a similar business model is Fenty Beauty. The company launched in 2018 for $310 million. After 4 years, that company was valued at $1.4 billion. So for every dollar that they spent, they made back $3.50. In comparison, after 5 years, Kylie Cosmetics was allegedly worth $1.2 billion, a return on investment of over $4,800. How did the company's valuations skyrocket to $1.2 billion if Statista says that peak sales were around 68 million and declining? Further, it should be noted that the stock price of the company Coty that purchased the brand Kylie Cosmetics fell nearly 60% after buying Kylie Cosmetics. An entertainment magazine called WWD magazine reported that Kylie Cosmetics sales were set to increase to 386 million in 2017. However, according to Statista, Kylie Cosmetics ended the year with 69 million in sales pre-tax. WWD magazine went on to report that Kylie Cosmetics was to end the year 2019 with 200 million in sales. However, according to Statista, Kylie Cosmetics ended that year with only 51 million in sales. After initially stating that Kylie Jenner was now a billionaire, Forbes then rescinded that status in 2020 and then went on to state that Forbes could not prove that the documents that had been presented to them by the Kylie Cosmetics team were faked. However, Coty's stock price declined by 60% after purchasing Kylie Cosmetics. It should be noted that Coty stated in 2018 that Kylie Cosmetics sales increased to 125 million, nowhere near what the Jenners had stated to Forbes magazine, which was 360 million, and a far cry from the 51 million that was reported by Statista for the same period. This would lead one to believe that the figures are being inflated by the Kylie Cosmetics team. Forbes further went on to state that despite the Jenners reporting that their skincare line was generating 100 million in revenue, filings were actually closer to 25 million. One other strange fact that I found out is that, according to Forbes, Kylie Jenner does not and never owned the controlling stake in Kylie Cosmetics. It was actually owned by Kris Jenner, implying Kylie Jenner's net worth is even lower than Forbes projects. Lastly, I just need to make a disclaimer that all this information is available online from various sources, including Forbes, WWD Magazine, and Statista. Before I forget, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It costs you nothing, and yet it opens up more opportunities for the channel.